Yeah, welcome to the channel. This is Naz, and today I have a review and a first impression for So I Am a Spider. So What? And this is a light novel. And in the world of isekai, obviously, it's saturated. There are just so many reincarnate worlds, or in another world with a cell phone, in another world with this and that, and it's just so many series that try to get in there and grab that cash. Because isekai has been a thing and has gradually just shot to the top of the food chain as in what's being adapted into anime, obviously. So, but the same way that Overlord and that time that I got reincarnated, or ReZero and Konosuba, they all have bring something to the table, and they all situated themselves as top tier light novels, and the execution and what they bring. So they're all using the same tropes, but they just bring something unique to the table. They reinvent basically the wheel in a way. This one does the same thing. Comes in with a bang, but squeezes in there and situates itself, I think, among one of the better isekai that one can pick up and just enjoy, plow through it and read it and everything. So the first difference in this one is that as opposed to our main character who has been transported into this world of this game-like world and becomes a spider instead of a human being, reincarnated as a spider, there are also the whole class that she was in that also get transported or reincarnated into this world. So aside from this main character, we also follow two other characters. One is a human being, and they're both human beings. And I don't want to tell their actually titles so that it's easier for the person that's reading to find out and be surprised. And then there's another one who's a pet, and those characters we follow them. So we don't only follow the spider who's born in a dungeon, but we follow these three other characters: some humans, some elves, some other species. So that is how it distinguishes itself from the get-go. But as a series and as the writing is concerned, I actually thought it was fresh. It didn't take itself seriously. It was leaner, and it just uh, for me it was like something that the reading was, I kind of finished in like a day or two. So it was a light read. So it stays true to its name as a light novel, and that is one thing I liked about it. Another one is that the character is not overpowered. Maybe like Rumuru from that time that I got reincarnated comes in with pretty much as an OP from the get go. This one, the spider is at the bottom of the food chain, born in this hostile territory, and just where from birth, born at the tip of a snake's mouth. The spider needs to survive, and so from just the beginning, the opening chapter, our main character has to survive in this do or die, dog eat dog world, and the spider. So the spiders actually from the get go, when they're born, they start eating themselves, and the mother also eats it. So the survival rate is similar to amphibians and insects and that like. So uh, yeah, and I like the character and the way that the character is narrating. Our main protagonist is narrating the story from a person, and just the way uh, yeah, it or the spider views the world is unique. By the way, it does not have a name in this world, so that's why I'm calling it the spider. Its status level in the gaming world is nameless, whereas other creatures have names. So like there are dragons, like the dragon Abara, and then there are other things. But as far as species is concerned, the spider is a great tract or attract species and multiple evolutions. So that is kind of the gist of the beginning of the story. And in this first volume, it's kind of just the introduction to these characters and survival mode, really. But it plays with it. It plays with some of the tropes of an isekai world, and some of the other characters also. Yeah. So the kingdom world that we visit in here and we follow, so the alternating between the spider in the dungeon in survival mode and our other characters who are human beings finding out more about this world, and through their eyes we see what it's like to be in a a game-like type of a world. So there is the setup of, gaining points, defeating monsters to, have more skill points. At some point, it did feels later on. It does feel like the spider is actually getting a lot of these stronger, some unique skills that are gonna come in handy later on down the road, and that like for instance, there's a skill called appraisal, which is hard to get. That you have to actually initially get it at the first time before. So and the spider just gets it through an accident. So there's that accidental genius going for our main character, which helps it along. So that without that actually skill, it would have been hard, and that skill is hard for any other creature to actually even level it up and use. But it just through trial and error, through hardship, the protagonist does uh, use that skill to the fullest, and through it actually survives a great deal. There is one particular point in here, well, kind of a battle that happens in towards the end that was done flawless. Yeah, and it was great. So in retrospect, so after reading the first volume, what do I think about it? I'm saying this is more of a gateway into that light novel world, or into the isekai genre in itself, and I think this does a great job using what has been already done. Some of the tropes that have been being like a carpet, and reiterating it and just reinventing it and bringing something fresh to the table. So I felt that this was good. This is good. So, and the picture here, man, the creatures in here too. A lot of the monsters in here. It was fun. I just had laughed. So, yeah, Volume One did a great job setting up the series, and man, so some of the setups are later on in retrospect like pure genius. So that is what I got as an impression and as a review for this series. I will do a volume 2 separately because I think volume 2 does things differently, and also volume 3, which I'm on at the moment. If you like the series and I've read it, let me know what you got. What are your thoughts and how it distinguishes itself, or how it comes in, and what do you call it? Flexes its muscles as far as isekai is concerned. Comment down below. Other than that, thanks for watching and peace.